Now the beauty about action is, about karma is, as you go on doing it, it actually changes you. That is the beauty of karma yoga. You are trying to change the subject through objective means. Many people think that, good people do good work. But if anybody keeps doing good work, he will become good. This is the glory of action. This is the glory of karma yoga. Agar aap अच्छा काम करते रहो, automatically you develop the sanskars and become good. So today this is what we will be studying, how action leads to character formation. Because you see, we are going to study leadership. If you today go to a leadership workshop or a personality development workshop, they may give you certain very superficial ideas like leadership depends upon communication skills, soft skills, grooming, all this. These are all of secondary importance, try to understand. The main thing about leadership is the integrity of your personality. If you are an integrated human being, basic integrity is there, basic character, great character is there. You mean what you say. You are purposeful, you are totally committed to your goals. If your character is very high, you will be a natural leader. People will simply follow you because your will be so dominant over the wills of others. Naturally, not out of great effort. So you see, leadership skills basically means this, great character. And in any field of life, to get success, you need this. If this element is lacking, struggle as you may, the success will not come. So today we will see how action helps you develop your character. And for that, for those of you who came to the last class, I had given you 3 effects of actions. Do you remember? There's an external effect. Whenever you perform any karma, any act, there's an external effect upon which you have to keep an eye so that the job you do is perfect. And then there's an internal effect which you can't see. What's the internal effect? The mental impression created due to the action. It is called sanskar. And the third effect is the cosmic effect, which is Newton's third law of motion. You get back the force which you have put out into the world. So the second effect, this formation of mental impression or sanskar, is what creates character for you. So any action you perform, there is an internal effect. Within you, in your mind is etched a sanskar, a certain impression which will goad you further and further towards those kind of actions. This is how action leads to character. We will go into detail into this psychology. But before I start, let me start with an example. Suppose now you went home over the weekend and you wanted to, your mother told you to help her in her everyday tasks, and you did her laundry for her. Let's take this example. अब ये तो एक action आपने किया, एक कर्म किया. Okay. So now this work which you did, you see the external effect in this work is the clothes got cleaned. The clothes for maybe the whole family were cleaned over the weekend by you. This is the external effect. It's visible. The second effect is the intention, the motive with which you did that job created a mental impression in your mind. Now the motives can be various. One motive can be you are doing it to help your mother. Okay, so the sanskar produced here is that of help, that of service. It's a good, beautiful motive. Another motive can be, you're scared your father will say something if you don't do this job. So if you do it with that motive, what is the sanskar produced? It is one of fear, it's one of obedience. If you did it with a motive of, I have to do it in order to keep peace in the household, out of compulsion, then what will be the sanskar produced there? It's not going to be a very good sanskar, as you can see. You have done it out of compulsion, not out of service, not out of love. So you see, the sanskar produced in your mind is directly proportional to your intent or motive behind the work. And so if you have to create great character, the motives behind the work you perform should be very good, isn't it? The motive should be very clear. Remember, mixed motives will give mixed results. Clear motives will give clear results. So the motive behind your work is what actually people work upon. If that motive is clear, leadership will just come out of you naturally. I can give you one example here from the life of our late President, Dr. Abdul Kalam. How he was a natural leader because his motives were always so clear. I don't know if you have read Wings of Fire. Have you read it? Yes? His autobiography? You see, there you will find this incident. When the first SLV-3 was launched in 1979, he was the project manager. And it so happened that because there was some valve defect, although it took off well, you know SLV-3? It's the first rocket required to launch satellites. So when that was launched, due to some defect, it plunged into the Bay of Bengal. And immediately there was a press meetings. The press became very excited about all that was happening. And then there was a meeting for inquiring into the project, everything. And do you know, Dr. Kalam just stood up and took the whole responsibility upon himself and said that, I'm sorry this happened. And within a year, he created another rocket. That was the SLV-3, launched in 1980 July, which was simply super successful. It actually even put Rohini into orbit, the satellite Rohini. So the thing is, when this happened, again the press was very excited and they interviewed him, and then he, during that interview, he gave the whole credit to his team. The very same team had worked for the previous launch also, for the previous rocket also. Now you see the characteristics of a leader. This is what I'm showing you. What character means. When they were unsuccessful, the leader took the whole responsibility upon himself. When they were successful, he gives the credit to others. So this is called character. This naturally will come into a person who is very clear and committed about his goals, who has basic inner integrity. And Vivekananda used to say that character is nothing but a bundle of your sanskars. The aggregate of your sanskars, that second effect of good work, goes to make your character. If always the motive has been pure, the intent has been pure for your actions, it has been good, it has been noble, it has been elevating, it has cumulative effect upon your mind, and this generates your character. You see, this level of development which you saw in this incident will come naturally if that aggregate संस्कारों का जो समूह होता है, उसी को हम चरित्र बल कहते हैं. So work directly leads, you see, the second effect of work directly leads to great character, as you can see. And that is why, let me quote to you what Swami Vivekananda says, the character of any man is but the aggregate of his tendencies, the sum total of the bent of his mind. We are what our thoughts are, isn't it? Thought is nothing but mental action. And that is why take care of what you think. Thoughts live, they travel far. Whatever work you do, whatever thought you think, every movement of your body bears an impression on the mind stuff. Bears an impression on your mind. And we, at any given moment, what we are is determined by the sum total of these impressions on the mind. Every man's character is determined by the sum total of these impressions. If good impressions prevail, the character is called good. If bad impressions prevail, the character is called bad. You see how simple it is. Through action, you generate sanskar. संस्कारों का समूह को ही हम चरित्र कहते हैं, character कहते हैं. So you see, it is in your hands to make a great character and to be successful in life. Because I tell you, in the workplace, actually, what is going to matter is the person. What you have made out of yourself is going to have all the impact. And that is why this is very, very important. What kind of a sanskar I generated? It is something similar to your law of mass action. You have studied it? Law of mass action, what does it say? In any chemical reaction, the force of the reaction, the speed of the reaction is directly proportional to the active masses of the reactants. So also at any given moment of time, the force of your character is directly proportional to the resultant of your sanskars. This is exactly the law of mass action. So what type of mind I have generated is very important for success in life. Please know this. Just Adjusting superficial aspects will not do. You must become a person of that type, unbending, highly principled, and absolutely committed to your goals. And you will be naturally a leader. And Karma Yoga, that's why helps you do this.